Yeah.
Sure, we can go with that.
So he will not be continuing on.
Bummer.
Well, that is sad.
That is sad.
So y'all are in a keep. Got dead, headless, Gorgon-like Medusa creature.
I think we're back in the tank, actually.
And then you cleaned that up and left, and then you got to the tank.
Wait, did we keep the body
What?
of the Gorgon thing?
Yeah, the body's still at the keep.
Okay, sweet.
You keeped it.
We kept it at the keep for safekeeping.
Okay, this is.
Tara's
Sorry,
Tara's arguing with the computer.
I am. I'm arguing with the open window that I'm trying to get where placed where I want it to be, and it doesn't want to play nice.
I vote we give Ambrose the bracers of defense first and foremost.
Ooh, what do they do?
+2 AC when not wearing armor or shield, because you are a very squishy boy.
Yes. Well,
I would enjoy that.
Now, my only concern about that was, are the bracers going to interfere with his tentacles?
No.
They're like wrists. I don't think his wrists do anything.
When it comes to spells like Arms of Hadar or anything where tentacles come out of Ambrose, it's like a magical thing where they like come out of every part of his body. So if he's wearing anything, they become tentacles for like just a second.
Okay. Hey, if it poses no interference, absolutely yes. I was going to say either Ambrose or Jaxar, but since Jaxar is leaving us, then definitely Ambrose.
I would caution against giving those to Ambrose, because if you give him armor, it's just going to encourage the DM to hit him harder.
But it doesn't do you or me any good. I'm pretty sure Gwen already has something better than that.
That does not have armor. If I could put them on Liger, I would, but I don't.
Oh God, that's funny. Because it's true.
All kidding aside, Ambrose have at.
Yeah. Yes. Oh God.
Let's see, what were these things called?
Bracers of defense.
The bracers have come at me, bro.
Yep.
Remember, is defense with an S or a C?
S.
Thank you.
I almost said both, and I don't know why.
because British is with a C.
I think I'm thinking of exercise.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're British, so scale it back a bit.
All right, I want to work at a shoe shop. Find shoes that no one's ever discovered.
Hi, Chaos.
In the back, on the left.
Right on the back on the left.
Hooray, somebody who knows.
Oh God, that's one of my favorite all-time specials. I love it so much. That the bit where he goes, he does his little bit from Martin Luther's perspective, but then speaks in like 3 languages.
Yeah,
I'm Minuten bitte. Haben einen kleinen Problemo
avec diese religione. And I just like, it blew my mind because it took me like 3 seconds to even recognize that he had spoken in like 3 different languages, because I sing opera, so I know all of those words, and it's just like, wait, what? I died. It killed me the first time. I loved it so much.
Same.
I want to make a druid who is a disciple of Saint Izzard, and the main, one of the main attacks is infest. He goes, "You are now covered in bees."
Yes.
Amazing.
That should be funny. Anyway, so where are we? Because in RP we were actually like on the next day, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Is RP canon?
One of Jesus's brothers was covered in bees.
What?
Jesus had
There's a-
brothers?
There's a bad.
Half
Oh,
brothers.
yeah,
Yes, he had
there were
brothers.
7
He
of
had
them. There
brothers.
was Azus, Beezus, Cesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Bad.
Oh.
Oh,
See y'all
I
next
thought
week.
we liked Eddie Izzard here.
I've never heard him do that.
Yes, you have.
Have not.
Oh, you totally did.
Okay.
I
Blast
think
for
I've only
me, blast for
watched
you, blast for everybody in the room.
I think I've only watched the one special because I tried out another one and I didn't like it as much, and then I tried out even another one and it was like even more like anti-religion. I was like, this isn't funny to me, so I was done. It's like,
We've got all of his older ones up
Yeah,
through Circle.
his earlier ones are funnier.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like I'd accidentally turned on a newer one that was like,
Yeah, where he gets really political. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Story-wise, it's next day. In the
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
And,
Back
you
to
for
the
saving us
plot.
from ourselves.
to answer Tonus' question, if roleplay is canon, I'm assuming it's canon.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Or we should just delete that channel.
No.
If it wasn't, I mean.
Yeah. No. I love the RP stuff. Awesome.
Why do you
Okay,
ask,
so
Tonus?
one item is down.
Oh, God.
Oh, right, because we were talking about items.
Oh yeah.
Good God. I don't even remember what the items were. Oh, his strength went up.
Oh,
by
that's
6.
why
Okay,
he's asking. Oh, that's funny.
I see. I
Nice.
would figure that, after that he'd have noodle arms in the morning and wouldn't be able to do anything. Wow.
I was testing a new exoskeleton I made.
Oh,
Powered by bad meat, apparently.
Lots of that around here.
Yes, we do. In
Bring
Gorgon
it,
form.
Courageous Lion. Yeah, I agree. Gwen could use that to go to fake out a thing.
Which one?
Ring of Courageous Lion, advantage on saves against frightened.
Yes.
Oh, yes, and we had discussed her taking that because reasons.
yeah, it came up.
Now, there's the thought experiment of, do we give the Pegasus boots to the slow person or the fast person? Do we want to make the slow person better or the fast person stupid
Really
good?
fast. I would say give it to the
Fast
one who's-
person.
Yeah, one who's already mobile. Make them even more mobile.
Yes.
Who would that probably would also be Gwen, maybe?
Am I? Oh, I'm technically not here when you guys are having this conversation anyway.
We're talking about this in your place then. Yeah, she gets around. I've seen Ambrose walk briskly on occasion.
That is my upper limit, unfortunately.
Kind of the same for me, being as I'm 3 feet shorter than all of you.
See, and that's where I would say, except that you tend to move with Liger.
Yeah, that's true. But like in the situation where we were on the mountain and I was flipping it, you were all way ahead of me.
That's true. So give the extra speed to our short-legged compatriot.
That's what the thought experiment was.
Yeah,
Do we give it to the quick person
Yeah,
or the slow person?
No, I'm fine with that. That makes a lot of sense. And Gwen actually already has a ooh shiny, so yes, please have at.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
shiny.
the whole thing is, let's not. I would rather not make a fast person faster because Scooby Dooing is a bad idea.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
my thing, Althea, honestly, is that say we have a bunch of combat going on, and you need to get from point A to point Q, and point Q is way over there,
That what Misty Step is for?
but you
Yeah.
say you don't have it, and you have the boots, and you can get there, and you don't have. Anyway, let's just go with that. It's fine. Give Mighty Tiny the boots, and we're all good.
Do these boots need attunement, Jacob?
Double check.
They do now.
I don't know how attunement works with artificers. I don't know if I still have the limit of 3.
It goes up as you increase in level.
Well,
Yeah, it requires attunement.
ah. Oh, they're separate from infusions, I think. Okay, so I technically only have one attuned item currently. Is this an item that is in the compendium by any chance?
It's a homebrew item if you just search for it.
I'm just gonna add a literal Pegasus to my inventory.
Cool. Don't know where you're gonna keep, but
This is in the tank.
How
Just
fast
mad
does
when-
it? How fast does it let him go?
Dash is doubled from what it normally is how I read it.
triple from normal. Well, I mean, you move
Oh.
triple your speed. So
Okay, so I can move 75 feet,
yeah,
Nice.
Shit.
which is still less
Dang.
than most of your normal dashes.
no,
That,
that's
like-
60.
Oh no, you're right. I was thinking 40. Not. Never mind.
Yeah, you can outpace all of us now.
Is
Go
that, like,
ahead, see what that gets you.
Is that just like base how much you can move now, or is that like him using an action to keep running?
Action
That'd
to
be an
keep running.
action.
Okay. Pretty cool.
But the bonus action I can attack makes it really good.
Yeah, it gives you if you're really far away, it gives you a charge essentially.
That's good stuff.
At this point, Gwen probably returns.
Woo.
I don't know if you have a secret knock on the door of the hoopty or if you just keep it open.
Well, it's stuffy in here, and Ambrose doesn't bathe very often, so we keep it open.
Excuse you.
Raised in a cave, eats bugs. Hello.
I
So
may
he-
have an interesting diet, but I also don't sweat that often. Physical exertion is not my job.
Love it. Love it. The hoopty is open.
All right. You still have bottled misery, potion of cure light wound or cure wounds, and 2 scrolls.
Wait, was
Potion
that a
of Cure Wounds seems
bottle of
very good.
misery?
Yeah, bottle of misery.
It's just orphan tears.
Wow.
Say, is it just like some eyeliner I can put on?
Essentially, you can use it offensively by splashing it on an opponent, which point they will have disadvantage against charisma checks
Oh.
and saving throws against charmed or frightened. They also feel sad.
So that should definitely be carried by a melee character unless Gwen wants to dip her arrows in it.
Oh.
Dipping the arrows
There you
won't.
go.
Not enough would get on the arrowhead. to
Ah.
use it like that. It's a
Tara.
one use.
Tara, isn't Althea a charisma caster?
I believe so.
You should carry that.
Okay.
So is Ambrose.
I am also a charisma caster. I don't know if I have many spells that require a charisma check, though.
Well, but
Or saving
how
throw.
how often are you going to be close enough to splash someone with something if you can
Yeah.
help it?
That's true.
You can throw it 20 feet as well.
Yeah. Well, my other point is we're trying to put the gear out to as many people as possible.
Mhm.
And there's a healing.
Yep, potion of cure wounds.
Okay. I would like to claim that one.
go ahead.
Go for it.
Ambrose, do you want to hang on to the scrolls?
Sure. What all scrolls do we have? Is there like a list you guys are looking at, by the way?
Yeah, it's in the Discord. And scroll up a
General-
little bit.
General chat.
9:50
couple days ago.
p.m. on July 22nd.
Cute.
If you're in
Oh,
his
okay,
time zone.
Here we go.
Yes. 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on July 22nd. So it's like 6:50
Oh,
p.m. your time, I
fireball
think.
water.
Not reading the RP chat, were decisions made about the improvements to the keep?
Not yet.
No.
Right. Basically, haven't discussed that because I wasn't sure we could get some of you involved in the RP on Discord.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not
Just,
involved very often.
Uh,
My sleep schedule has been so wrecked by the Alaskan summer. You guys are usually doing it like 3 hours before I wake up.
That's okay. You are welcome to join in any time because if you read a bunch of stuff and you go, okay, I've been thinking about what you've been talking about, and here's my take on it. Because most of the time, I try not to be on it when I'm at work.
Same here.
Yeah, that's true. You're typically talking while I'm at work, so I just don't respond. all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. At any point in time, if you want to put in your thoughts on it, I I I know me personally, I am happy to revise anything I have said to account for your input
yeah.
because that's only fair and proper when we're dealing with multiple time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't ever worry about us having to retcon something to accommodate your need and input to a conversation. Is that fair, guys?
Oh,
So there you go.
We don't want to exclude you just because we're always talking when you can't talk.
Exactly.
Seriously.
All right. The last thing we were talking about was starting with an actual fortified keep, like a
Actually, I hadn't. Althea had not put in her 2 cents yet. She'd been waiting to hear what because so Ambrose wants a swimming pool.
I want a pool in a secret room behind a secret wall.
Okay. And definitely considering a forge for Johnny. I have no idea what Gwen wants. I have no idea what Tonist wants.
he just put it in the
Um,
chat.
I'm in
Know
I'm in the
exactly what's
RP
oh,
going on.
chat
yay!
for the second
Okay,
time.
there we go. Wants a well, yeah, that's a given. That's already in the plan.
Oh, I
Okay,
have to train him.
so I guess that Jaxar was the only person from whom I didn't have any input.
Hold
If
on a
that's the
second.
case, I'm shifting towards Forge with Johnny.
Hold on. When you say a garage, do you mean like a workshop type garage?
I'm thinking it could definitely be multi-purpose for the. I think we're thinking along a similar mindset here.
Okay, because a forge is he's thinking a blacksmith shop where multiple blacksmiths can work on different portions of projects.
Yeah.
Not a full blown foundry. We're talking a forge that's big enough to support the needs of the keep and the people and the force that would be in it, but not something huge. So
Either put it in
So
the garage or next to the garage.
yeah,
so here's the thought. If you want to visualize, you have a keep. Build the keep for strength, obviously. And on one side of the keep, you have the front quadrant is the carriage house, but it backs up against and has access to the forge and the workshop
Yeah.
area.
yeah. Also, one of the things Johnny wants to do is um, bless and dedicate the forge to the maker. And for full disclosure, he wants to send a message to his order that apprentices, journeymen, and junior masters are welcome in the keep to practice and trade their wares so that we have a constant influx and throughput of artisans and people who are willing to work for their room and board here. So we've always got fresh eyes and fresh people working to outfit and help maintain the place.
And
Because Johnny is all remember Johnny's going to be going out and being an itinerant cleric. He's not going to be staying here as a permanent fixture. This is going to be his home base, but he's not going to be here all the time.
Johnny and I have already discussed this. I am 100% in support of blessing, of having the forge consecrated, and having a special segment of the dormitories would be set aside for any um, apprentices, etc., separate from the dormitories or the barracks for any of our fighting forces.
So my question to you is because we are a group and this is a cooperative collective, as you would say in Monty Python. What do you guys think about that idea? Because this isn't just what we say goes.
Gwen is on board with pretty much everything you just said about the forge.
Yeah, I don't think sings or anything really interfere with any of Ambrose's like weirdness he's got going on. Just like we hang a sign, like if any of the wanderers happen by here, like find like a sconce they can pull to open up a secret passageway or like a book with a trigger on it. Just like ignore it. Ambrose likes his privacy.
Sure.
Oh no, Ambrose, my intention is to have a subterranean section
Ooh, I like
customized
that
for
word.
you. You can have your own private access if you wish.
Sweet.
I personally would very much like to build a false wall and a couple of secret passages from like the top floor to the ground floor, um, simply for well, for those horrible times when something happens and you need an escape route.
Oh yeah.
So these things will all be taken under consideration. Gwen, you have not expressed any particular desires. What would you like specifically in this keep?
um,
Just give her a big tree. She'll be fine.
Something to hug.
rude.
Ooh.
I really like the forge ideas for your information, so I will just throw my support behind that. I will also be exploring the little wood that surrounds the keep, and that will probably be most of, if I have any requests, it will probably have to do with that. But I didn't think it was wise to do much more exploring on my own until we take care of those elves.
Mhm.
Well, Gwen, let me let me ask you this. It's not so much making something special for you in the keep, and it may even be putting more responsibility on you. But would you be willing to take on the supervision of the groundskeeping?
I
You
don't know if that's a good idea. And Gwen looks
okay?
like really uncomfortable.
It's fair.
Is there a particular reason? If plants and trees are something fun to explore but not something you want to take care of, say so.
That.
All right. All right. I will need to find a reputable groundskeeper because the last thing that we want is for our enemies to be able to hide in what's around us. However, I also want to maintain the screen as much as possible.
We'll probably need a forester and a game warden.
Yeah. Okay. If you are content with the special outfitting in the forge, if you would like your own special fletching station, something like specifically an archery workshop to work on your bows and your arrows,
Ooh, that sounds neat.
I'm sure we
Yeah,
can
I'd
do that.
appreciate that.
Okay.
we need to make it temperature controlled because the heat of the forge would probably warp the wood. But we can talk about it and make plans. Wasn't
Right.
there
Well,
also?
the heat of the forge might actually help to cure the wood.
Hmm,
So you wind up with heat treated wood that is stronger, and once it is once it's heat treated, then it won't warp.
Okay. Wasn't there also talk about other options like an establishment?
Hmm.
Yes, yes, and that is something that Johnny, from some of the things you've mentioned, I'd actually like to. We can start in that direction, but I think that we need Havelock's input.
I agree. That's not my area. That's more him, definitely. I just was curious about make sure I was remembering correctly. That's all. Hmm. So we'll start with, if I hear correctly, a military-styled keep with
Forge
a
and carriage house
with
on one side.
forge carriage house, some secret passages,
Uh,
a torture chamber dungeon. Looks at Ambrose and smiles. Looks at Ambrose and smiles.
Military
Motions
barracks
and
and
thumbs up.
training yard on the opposite side from the forge and the carriage house.
Yep. And we'll go from there. Yeah.
It's a good start.
Okay. Cool.
That's gonna take a while, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fortunately, we have a couple of gold pieces to rub together to make to help finance this thing.
Yeah.
And just so all of you are aware, my intention, and I hope that you all agree with this, the Duke gifted us with approximately $5,000 worth gold, or 5,000 gold pieces worth of treasure,
That's
and
a lot.
he specified it as to to repair the property. I hope that all of you are all right with the idea of dedicating those funds to that effort.
Of course.
That was what they were given to us for. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Gets me a
I'm in.
secret base. I love it.
Yep. Oh, and has anyone not? And Johnny pulls out that draftsman's vellum sheet. Has anyone not seen this design yet?
What is it?
It's a barony device that I've been working on. This is a new barony for all intents and purposes, and it needs a coat of arms.
Because I'm sorry, but the brown and white with the hair is just not us. It's definitely not me. Um, let's see. If you look in the role play channel,
You're gonna have
let's
to
see.
scroll up.
Um,
this picture is still Monster Bonk the group.
yes. Yes, July 25th at 10:22 a.m. So it's the first message under July 25th.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was just yesterday. What is time?
I know, isn't it
Right?
amazing?
Oh my god.
So it's not the bonk one.
No,
It's a little.
I drew out bonk.
Yes, that's the new coat of arms. Bonk.
I can also
What?
just copy and paste it into general if to make it easier to read.
Guys, let's talk tactics. We don't want this.
Right.
Off to a good start.
Go.
Why am I not seeing pictures in the roleplay? I see the bonk.
it's not a
Uh,
picture.
in-
It's not a
It's above
picture.
the bonk.
Oh,
In
okay.
general,
yes,
I just
cool,
copy
fine.
pasted the description
Okay, thank you.
so we don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not an artist, but I can describe things wonderfully. So
We do know an artist, though.
Ooh, do we?
It's also now pinned into the roleplay, so if anyone wants to go
Nice.
back to it.
Thank you.
thank you very much.
I've actually got a Word document where I'm copying things out. Trying, I need to save this for reference.
Yep.
Anything about Ambrose in the document?
Oh, There's all kinds of stuff about Ambrose in that document.
Ooh,
Taking notes on that boy. Let me tell you.
ominous. I like it.
So Tonist, what are your thoughts?
Hi. On what?
Oh my god, on the design.
Oh yes.
Yes, no, input.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Everybody, including Jaxar, is represented in that. So
Oh, we can just take him off. No, I'm just kidding.
no,
I'm just kidding. It
Okay.
was a joke.
No, he helped in getting us here.
yeah, he did. I there was a question about where's Havelock. It's like, he's not on
Not
there.
here.
Yeah, he's not on there.
He's small and in the background, just like Havelock.
Still doesn't fully 100% know who Havelock is.
Yeah, I
That
have no
and
clue
that's
either.
and that's quite all right. You have not met Havelock. Havelock is he's a dwarf. Sorry, halfling.
Wow.
As
Wow.
glares at me over here.
Wow. Gwen is just
What?
gonna laugh. She's
Sorry.
gonna go, I've met Havelock and I still don't really know who he is, so don't worry.
Havelock is a halfling who is well, he was my first bounty, and he found me before I could
Oops.
find him.
Is this like a romantic euphemism, or
It-
were
No.
You and
No,
your
it's-
euphemisms, man.
Ambrose
No.
doesn't understand a lot of things.
So, in leaving my father's household, let's just say my father doesn't finance my adventuring. So I was looking for my brother, and I had to make ends meet. So I decided to try my hand at bounty hunting. My first bounty was to find this person, Havelock Shadestrider. Well,
Name.
Havelock found me first. Did not didn't indicate who he was. But basically, after talking to me for a little while, said, you're new to this, aren't you? You have no idea what you're doing, do you? And I had to confess, and he said, yeah. So I'm Havelock, and tell you what, let me teach you how this goes. He
Oh,
was very kind hearted when it came to me. No idea why. And then when we when we came into what was that first town? Can't remember. But where we met you, Gwen, and Jaxar.
What was that town
Because
called?
because we'd been sent to hunt you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I remember.
Um,
I don't remember what that town was called. Where's the map?
You're not very good at killing your targets.
I'm the
based
map. I'm
simply
the
on
map.
the terms that
Womborn.
you stated.
right. Was that Womborn?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
The town we took the tank through.
Yep.
That's outstanding. So, yes, Womborn, when we were asked to go and find you, ran into you and found out there was more to the story. So, yeah, you're right, Tonist. I'm not good at killing my targets. I'm not good at bounty hunting because I never know if the target is truly worth killing, truly worthy of being killed. So,
I, for one, am grateful for that. That's very nice. There were a lot of other people trying to kill me at the same time, so it's just like, yeah, I don't want a paladin.
Long story, less long.
Yeah, long story, a little bit less long. Havelock found himself in the direct line of fire too many times and realized that we needed someone with more.
Beef.
Yes.
Johnny kind of sits up straighter. That's me.
good way to put it.
And Havelock brought Johnny in as a favor and disappeared on his own quest that I didn't know about until later. But he's looking for my brother so that I don't have to worry about that.
Johnny looks over and says, Havelock hunts people. He's really good at it.
to know.
And Havelock has let's just say the personal connections. He's got a network of informers, which is why I want his input on an establishment.
He would make a good basis for a spy network. He probably wouldn't want to be a spy master, but he's got the connections to start something like that up.
Doesn't want to be Walsingham, does he?
No. Can you imagine him writing a desk?
Hmm.
There you go. Okay, so we've done that. Next.
You'll meet Havelock eventually.
Yeah.
Is that a threat? Anyways, yeah. So you guys have done that discussion, and now what do you want to do?
Go murder the townspeople that are causing problems.
What?
Yay.
There are
It's a
townspeople
little
causing
thing.
problems?
Althea just kind
There are
of
probably
very
somewhere.
slowly turns to look at Johnny and go, "What?"
Say what now?
If
The
you're
voices
hard,
in
you
my
can find
the
anything.
voices in my head were asking questions, so I answered them. Was that out loud? That was out loud, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Now I'm a little worried. Okay. Actually, my thought was to go into the town of Shifnal and let them know who I am, what we've accomplished at the castle, and start the process of finding the workmen to effect the changes we've agreed on and start the building.
Okay. Are you driving the hoopty back?
Actually, I was waiting to see if that was good with everyone.
Well, seems fair to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I want
So-
to. Johnny says, actually, I want to see if there's a temple of the Maker in Shiftmall, because if there is, we can probably get artisans and workers from there to come and help too.
How far is the town from the castle?
It looks like it's right on, like, it looks like the little village basically goes right up to the tree line on the map, anyway.
Yeah, it's really close.
It's really close. Let's walk.
Yeah, it's just a.
Because it was only an hour walk from the tank to the tower, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure that's what Jacob said.
Just
Well,
right?
yeah, on second thought, let's take the tank.
Show of
Because
force.
if the villagers decide to be hostile, I'd like to have an armored position to fall back to.
I can't imagine them putting up arms against us.
I can.
We're yet to use the ballistas that are mounted to the sides of the tank as well. Not the ballistas,
Or the
sorry,
catapult.
the crossbows.
Right.
Yeah, crossbows.
The arrow slits, the crossbows, the
The true
ballista.
bucket.
We can just run them over.
You got those spikes that come out of the wheels.
We
Now,
also have flamethrowers.
Okay, okay.
We have options.
Okay. Tonist.
Yeah.
That's only if they show aggression. Remember, these are supposed to be my people now. I'd like to
Oh.
try not to kill them.
I'm just saying we have options.
Just one try.
I appreciate that we have options. I
We
really
gotta
do.
go into this with an open mind.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm open-minded.
So
Contingencies.
everyone.
If any of them have gray skin, we're out of there.
What?
And then you just. That's when you use the flamethrower.
Yes, that's when we use the flamethrower. Gray skin, like those who were infected. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were alluding to like the changelings that we were fighting at the beginning, and it's like, yeah, I'm out too if they're all changelings. No, thank you.
Gray skins.
They're mimics.
This is doppelganger land, everyone. So you
Out. I'm out.
Are taking the hoopty then.
Yes,
Yes.
we're taking the hoopty.
Who
All right.
decided to call it the hoopty?
Me.
It's
We
all
have it.
sorts of different
Yeah,
names.
we've got a bunch of different names for it.
I like Doom Buggy, but you know.
Doom
Buggy. Yeah. Tank.
Doom Buggy.
I like Mark Jr. But
Yes.
I'm,
That
you know,
too.
since I called it that, I'm biased.
The Battle Winnebago.
You drive back towards town. It doesn't take
Mark
too
it.
long. It's not that much faster than walking anyways, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to walk. It does take about approximately an hour to get back, as you were partway through the forest, so there's fallen trees you have to go around, and it's not a clear path that you can just drive through that fits the wagon. The town is situated on a small lake, right, and goes up right against the tree line, as mentioned. To the north are the farmlands. The high street is fairly sparse. Not sparse. There's not a lot of people, despite it being mid-morning.
Is this Shifnal you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
While we are en route, Althea is very carefully removing all of the raggedy wrapping. She is displaying the armor in its full glory, and her head is uncovered. She's not cloaked or masked at all.
Okay.
Can you give me a refresher? Isn't Althea's skin gray?
Althea's skin looks like hematite. Yes.
Ah!
The
She
shiny reflective gray. Shiny reflective gray, not
Yeah,
dull gray.
It was not
she looks
specified.
she looks like a drow elf made out of metal with round ears
And yellow eyes.
and glowing yellow eyes.
And metallic silver hair.
She has a very striking appearance.
She's metal.
Okay. So, like, do you just drive up into the middle of town and then get out, or?
I say yes.
Yeah.
What?
Does it have a horn? I don't think this is ever
Shouldn't
established.
we park this like
No,
outside
we
of
are
town?
not coming in like the General Lee. Thank you for coming with me on that one.
Is there any large hills near the edge of town?
No, it's a mostly flat area.
Oh, lame.
We wanted to park it up there.
No, I wanted to ramp it into town.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well, you got a few people handy with building stuff. You could probably build a ramp before actually making your first appearance.
That's a delay in game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's just longer for the elves to catch up to us, so let's not, shall we?
all right. So driving into the middle of town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They drive into the middle of the town square where the shops are. It's just off of the lake where there's boats and docks jutting out into the waters. As you get out, as mentioned previously, there's not a lot of people. You do see a man in a pillory, though.
Oops, somebody's been bad.
He
Or like a
is-
stockade.
Pillory
Yeah.
is like the witch thing, right? Where they put your head and hands through the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly like that. The man has a shaved head, fairly
Oh, bald.
well-kept
Being bald is
beard.
illegal here. Understood.
He's got visible tattoos on his head and arms, and he's wearing light clothing, light flowing garments.
Johnny's gonna walk over to him
It's the Avatar.
and kind of hunker down in front of
Wow.
hunker down in front of him and say, "What was your crime? Why are you here?"
Oh, I didn't commit a
Oh, it's
crime
chaos,
per
of
se.
course.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I yell over to Althea.
Althea comes over. What?
Can we make being bald a crime in our duchy too?
She just
Wow.
kind of looks at you and no.
I know it's a challenge, but don't be a dick.
Althea walks over to where Johnny is.
So why are you in this pillory?
The sheriff seems to think that I have been attempting to spread the corruption. And so I'm here to be restrained and publicly disciplined.
Spread what corruption?
The blight.
No, no. We met that guy.
We killed that guy.
We did.
Oh,
Use my tentacles
you
on
really?
that guy.
Yes, we
Your friend-
did.
A friend of yours?
no. I can't say that he is.
Good.
I-
Is there any GM? Is there anything that stands out amongst his tattoos that would be recognizable?
What? What are the tattoos of?
They're just general designs, nothing specific. Sort of like a tribal
Yeah.
kind of thing.
No blue arrows or
No, no blue arrows. Alas.
No
Damn it.
tentacles.
No, no tentacles either.
Okay. Right.
Ask him if
What
his
is-
tattoos glow when he gets angry.
No.
Why would they do that?
I mean, mine do.
why not?
What is your name?
My name is Ethan.
Ethan?
Ashgrove.
Ethan
Yes.
Ashgrove. And
I'm from Kingsdale.
from Kingsdale. Out of character, is that north or south? Actually, what I know,
It's
North of Womborne,
it's okay.
It's northwest.
capital of the Dundalk Duchy.
Ah, good.
So yes, you would probably
Sorry,
know that.
I've got the map focused in on Shifnal. I wasn't looking.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I
so-
wasn't
way
looking.
northwest.
Okay.
Super zoomed in.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm focused on Shifnal. What?
No, I had mine super zoomed in as well.
And what brought you out this far?
I was actually investigating the, the rumors of the blight spreading. I was sent here by the Earl, actually.
By the Earl.
Yes.
Interesting.
The Earl of Kingsdale.
Hmm.
Earl Toto.
We
Would've
just
mentioned
came.
him.
We've in a roundabout way. We've just come from Bryn Mellon, where we brought a healing potion to both the Tree of Spring and the Tree of Autumn. Whereabouts here did you were you told that the blight had spread?
I'd heard that it was in Bryn Mellon, but I was instructed to explore some of the surrounding villages in case the blight had spread, and to return to Kingsdale. if
Understood.
Anything is found.
And the sheriff put you in the stockade because he thought you were spreading the blight?
That was the excuse he gave me.
Hmm.
Johnny, I think we need to find this sheriff and have a word.
I think you're right.
Several.
Several.
Hmm.
You're not just gonna walk up. Each of you says one thing and then walk away.
Wow.
Let
Not-
that
not-
man go now.
Something like that. All right. So, Ethan, I am sorry that you will have to suffer a little bit longer, but let us see if we can get this righted.
It's fine. He's doing his job as best he knows how, I suppose.
Nathan's very
Understandable.
practical at his position.
So, how big is this town square?
So the town itself boasts about 500 people. So you've got just like a dozen shops in this street, and then a couple administrative buildings. So it's not a very large area.
Is there any building that looks specifically like the jail or the
Oh yeah, I mean,
like mayor's or magistrate's office?
he's pilloried right up front.
All right.
Yeah, and he'd be able to. Nathan would be able to relay that to you.
All right.
It's that one.
I'm going to go bust in the door and say, no, I'm not.
Ooh, let me. I love kicking indoors.
Let's try not to antagonize them before we have to?
Why not? It's your lands.
Because I would like to have them on my side.
Fine.
Do they have a choice? Is Tugnall in the same land as what you own now?
Yeah, in the map in Roll20, it's the yellow.
Oh, so that sheriff reports to you.
Yeah.
Now, yes, he
Yeah.
does.
I'm just gonna
He's
take
her.
that lock.
He's her bitch. Yes.
Yes, but we're going to go about this. It speak gently and speak softly and carry a big stick, or a big halberd, as the
They have
case
a
may
little
be.
stick. It's a lockpick.
Don't tell the sheriff that.
You're picking the lock, you said?
I might as well. We're here.
Okay.
All right. So I'm walking up to the front porch of the sheriff
And the
building
rolling
and
quarter's doing it.
walking in.
Okay, wait. So Althea and Johnny are walking away, and Tonus is
And
picking the lock.
Picking the
Yeah.
lock on the stockade.
All right. So
Great,
while he's
okay.
doing that, Gwen is
Knock it off.
Oh,
while
God.
he's doing that, Gwen is gonna walk up and ask Ethan if
Ethan.
he's thirsty.
Ethan.
Is it
If he's
Ethan or
thirsty.
Jay?
Yes. It's been a while since they've given me anything to drink.
Yeah, so she'll give him some water.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
What were your names? Who are you? With your mighty jalopy.
Yeah. I just
Mighty
realized.
jalopy.
Yeah. I just realized we walked up,
Name from
interrogated
now
this
on.
poor guy, then walked away. Didn't introduce who we were. Sorry about that. That was rude of us.
Think about that. That's all right. We've already walked away, so Gwen
Yeah.
can make introductions for us if she wants to.
Yeah. I'll be right back,
I know
folks.
one thing about Gwen is that she is the social butterfly of the group.
So she'll look kind of awkward, and,
Good
and
start.
uncomfortable, and say, "Well, how do I say this without sounding incredibly racist? The dark one."
Wow.
One with
The-
the halberd.
The one with the halberd, thank you. Okay, the one with the
Yes.
halberd is Althea. She's
dark
the new
one.
Baroness. The big beefy guy next to her is Johnny. The one picking the lock is Tonist.
Is
That
Tonus
one,
on Liger as he's doing this?
No,
Alright.
no. I think I probably would have left Liger in the mighty jalopy.
Don't worry, we left the windows down.
Jalopy.
the pale one in the toga is Ambrose with the tattoos, with the tentacle tattoos, and you can call me Gwen.
Cool metal armlets.
Yeah, and those.
Okay. I might struggle to remember that, but thank you.
I just look in the Discord chat. I'll be fine.
Also, knock it off with that lock.
Am I rolling for the lock or is it just happening?
Knock it off. Stop it.
He's telling you to stop, so
Oh,
I guess it's up to you
okay.
to decide whether or not you want to.
I suppose I shall stop.
All right. Althea and Johnny enter a kind of large building. It had on the right side of a large room as they're lined with cells. A few are occupied. You can see doors leading into back areas as well as some desks and cabinetry and weapons like truncheons and non-lethal type weaponry in a rack up front. The people in the cells see you enter and kind of give you weird, what is she looks.
Fair enough. Sorry, Paul just walked back in the room. He got up and walked out. So we just walked into the jail. There are cells on the right hand wall, some of them occupied. There are desks, some people at the desks, and doors leading into the back.
There actually aren't any what would look like
And a bunch of non-human
employees. in this
Okay.
room.
Okay. So no one who looks like deputies.
Right.
Because I was thinking this is how many cells are there?
4. 3 are
4.
occupied.
3 are occupied.
As you're looking around,
Awful lot of business for a small town.
there one of the doors leading to the back does open up, and a older looking gentleman comes out, a man. He is armed and wears a chain shirt. He spots the two of you and walks over toward you. Says, "Don't look like you're from around here."
Well, I am now.
Oh shit!
He raised an eyebrow at that. Said, "Did you just move here?"
Yeah. Johnny just looks over at Althea. Can I?
Go ahead.
He leans in close. We just moved into the keep. She is your new landlord. Be nice.
A bunch of orcs out that way.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Gorgon's gone too.
Oh, that's tasty.
Does Althea say
What?
that?
No, I'm sorry. I just poured a new brew. It's an imperial golden stout with coffee beans and almond paste. So it's called marzipan, and it tastes really good. So I apologize. That was completely out of character.
That was about what Johnny said. Really funny.
Any case,
Uh,
so my apologies.
Man says, "Well, sure that place is run down, but if it's a home to you, I suppose that's fine."
Well,
Let's do this a little bit more formally, shall we?
please.
Is there a magistrate in town?
Mm. Excuse me. The magistrate usually comes about once a week.
Once a week, so he does not live in Shifnal.
No,
Where does he reside?
I think he's down at the Davis Keep, actually. He goes around on a circuit visiting the smaller villages.
Interesting. So are you the senior ranking officer in this town?
Oh, no, that would be Sheriff Cedric or Woodleaf, probably to you.
Sheriff Cedric Woodleaf.
Yes. Yep.
And
He's
where
out
is he
dealing
right
with
now?
something at the docks right now.
Would you please go and fetch him?
He chuckles and says, "Well, we can probably just wait for him." As I said, he's dealing with some problems.
Althea looks over at Johnny. Well, shall we go and help him deal with the problems? Since technically they're now mine.
That'd be a good idea. He looks over at this guy. What's your name again?
My name's David.
Pleasure to meet you, David.
Thank you, David.
I'm Johnny. We'll be seeing each other again. Have a good day.
He seems baffled by everything that went on, but doesn't say anything as you leave.
Oh,
At the door, Althea turns around. David, what are the charges against the man in the stockade?
The man, he takes a look out the door towards Ethan and says, "I believe it's sedition."
Sedition. Do you have proof?
Well, we'll lay out a case when the magistrate gets here.
When is the magistrate due?
A couple days, I believe. As I said, he makes a circuit of the smaller villages, so sometimes it's later or earlier, depending on what's needed there.
And
Until such time as the magistrate arrives, or I say so, that man is to be removed from the stockade. You can put him into the unoccupied cell indoors. Give him water, give him food.
He looks you over and says, "And why would I do that?"
Let's see. Trying to figure persuasion. uh, because I am Baroness Shifnal.
He laughs.
And she produces her letters patent.
I would
You
make
go-
him very upset if he could read. No, he looks it over. I really love that meme. He looks it over and hands it back to you and says, "Well, still gotta wait for the sheriff. I'll let him know that you were here if you don't find him first."
David, you will do what your liege lady says, or you will regret it. Are we clear?
Are you rolling intimidation?
Not until the DM asks.
Yeah. Yeah, Tara, hush.
Yes. What? That was a pretty good persuasion roll.
No, yours was, yes.
He says, "All right, okay, I'll go and fetch the key. Get that man in here."
Thank you, David.
Althea just narrows her eyes slightly.
Okay. He heads into the back of the building, presumably to gather whatever keys he needs.
I look over at Althea and I said, Althea, please forgive me. He wasn't going to do what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's him.
We will make them come around. But for right now, what was the most important thing here?
The most important thing right now is getting Ethan out of the sun, getting him fed, and now we need to go and meet the sheriff.
Exactly. That was my thought exactly. So, again, I am sorry for stepping into your business.
It's all right. Apparently, it was necessary. I just hope that I won't always need
No,
a beefy masculine enforcer for people to listen to me.
The best thing you can
Gwen snorts from the back of the room.
The best thing you can do next time someone gives you lip, step up on them and make them do what you want.
So not used to this.
You've got a
Alright,
big
let's go to
stick.
the dock. I
Welcome to the
know I
show.
have a big. All right,
Let's
so
go.
Althea's just shaking her head. She walks out the door. She says, "Tonist, Ambrose, we're about to head down to the waterfront to find the sheriff. Would one or the other or both of you mind hanging back just a few minutes? Make sure that deputy or whatever he is does take Ethan out of the stocks inside."
Sure.
Thank you. And then you're welcome to join us.
At about this time, aren't the stocks empty right about now? Didn't you pick the lock?
No,
No,
he's
he's
not.
Ethan requested I not for whatever
Okay,
reason.
I missed that part. So thank
Well,
you
if
very
we
much.
have permission to, if he's free now, can I just like do it, Ethan?
Wait until the deputy comes out. That's
Fine.
I'm trying to go about this the right way. I really am.
That would generally be preferred.
But
Okay.
Ethan, I don't want you stuck out here until the magistrate arrives in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. I've already had to threaten one functionary. I don't want to do it again.
Really? All right.
So who's staying?
Tonus.
Okay.
Yep, Ambrose will follow him down to the waterfront.
All right.
I don't see any water.
It's a small lake.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll add a little doodle.
Okay.
What is that circular thing next to the tower?
That's us.
That's us.
The party representation.
Yep.
Yeah,
I always
that's
wondered what the hell that
party
was.
icon.
Okay.
So that's where you guys are on the map at any given time.
Oh, thank you very much. I wasn't sure what the
Who
hell that
has
was.
control? Oh, it is controlled by all players, so anyone can
Yep.
move it however they want. That's cool. Might need to. Yeah, we might need to put a stop to that.
Well, here I am trying to figure if I click on it if I
Oh,
hit control and
God.
scroll down, will it make it smaller?
I made it
Oh
smaller.
my goodness. My goodness.
Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah, so it's gonna make it.
Wow. Not messing with it.
No, I can't click it anymore.
Okay, so as
Oh.
Althea's not walking briskly. She's sort of meandering. She's looking around, taking stock, looking to see if anybody's watching them.
Oh yeah, you get plenty of the few people that are out and about. You do get stairs.
Okay. And she is carrying herself with full regal noble bearing, which she doesn't ever do. It's very foreign to her, but she's doing her damnedest.
Okay. So it is a small village, so the docks are actually pretty close, and walking to them only takes 5-10 minutes or so. As you get near, you can spot presumably the trouble, and you hear bits of conversation carried out. And of course, as you get closer, you'll hear it better and better. Um, this quite old man, who is armed similarly to the one that you found in the jailhouse, is speaking to someone near a boat, about uh, their taxes for fishing in the water. You gather that he's trying to collect on them and that they haven't paid in
Althea
some time.
Althea arches an eyebrow and looks over at Johnny. Tax in a town this small?
They
In a
gotta.
pond?
They have to make their income some way, but this is a little bit overreach.
It's a sizable lake. I mean, it's not like just a few feet of, it's not like 20 feet across or something. It's probably a good mile to the other
Okay.
side.
Okay.
I would say that there should be a tax on what you catch, not just to use it. But that's just me. Like a
Well,
license.
I can change that.
Whatever. He says, "This is your problem." Now he takes a drink from his wineskin.
I imagine you approach.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get the lay of the land first.
I mean, literally, I'm imagining it in my So
Yes.
there's a few docks next to the city. You can see out around the lake other buildings, presumably homes, with their own docks and boats. There's some boats on the lake. A lot of them are still up at the docks themselves, though.
What time of day is it?
It's mid-morning.
Mid-morning.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe between mid-morning and noon.
Okay. So most of the boats would actually be in after the morning catch. Sorry. Best fishing is it daybreak and dusk.
Good to know.
Reasonable.
Anyway.
I mean, that's a good assumption.
Okay.
I
So many people around, like fishermen mending their nets, doing things with their boats. Are they paying attention to the fracas or the verbal
some are here.
altercation? Okay. All right. I'll
You want
walk
their
up.
attention?
I will walk up and take a stance about 10 feet away and fold my arms and stare.
Okay.
Just staring at the two of them talking.
All right. Before the presumably the sheriff notices you. They go back and forth a bit, and the sheriff threatening to basically take uh, the woman's boat away if things continue without payment. And eventually, we'll look over and see you, and ignore you completely.
How much does she owe?
Um, he looks back at you, and you are what 10 feet away, so he semi shouts back, "None of your business. Go about your day."
Oh, but it is my business, grandfather.
What?
Johnny just kind of goes, "Oh."
Bum, bum, bum.
Kind of elbows Ambrose. Goes, "She called him a grandpa."
Wait a minute.
He,
Gwen is not sure if he's actually her grandfather.
No.
Right?
She's calling out his age.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
but Gwen doesn't know
Oh,
that.
I thought it was his literal grandfather. I'm not
Right.
even there.
Like Gwen's face is like, what? Like,
Johnny's gonna translate.
Very, very, very quietly, I hope.
Yeah. Johnny says, "No, so Gwen, she just called him an old man, questioning his ability to do his job because he's so old."
oh, okay.
he's,
I
he,
thought we
sto-
just like remade some family connection.
he stops and turns and strides over to where Althea is standing with arms folded, and says, "Is it now? So you want to be punished with her?"
Gwen will just start laughing.
Johnny's just gonna just stand there, just gonna watch.
Do you always speak so to people whom you do not know?
You interrupted me.
I asked you how much she owed.
Yes, which, as I mentioned previously, is none of your business.
How much does she owe?
He
She's
looks at
clearly
you
she's clearly grinding
quizzically.
her teeth. She's clearly grinding her teeth right now.
He looks you up and down, notes the halberd, looks past you to everyone else, their weaponry, armor, and whatnot, and says, "What is it to you? Who are you people? And why are you in my town?"
I lean over a little bit to look past him to the woman. How much do you owe, madam?
She calls back, uh, "He says I owe 15 silver pieces, but I paid him last week."
Receipt?
Did you ask if she has a receipt?
Tara?
Yes.
You're cutting in and out, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I asked if she has a receipt.
Uh, the who you're presuming is the man that you're presuming is the sheriff stops and says, "No, because she didn't pay me."
She's ignoring him right now. She's waiting for the woman to respond.
Okay.
I mean, she is literally she has taken a half step to the left and is looking past him.
Okay. He steps back to where he's between you and her when you do that. The woman says, "Well, I have one for the 5 silver that I did owe him."
Althea focuses on the sheriff again. So, in a week, it's gone up to 15. 10 silver pieces in the span of a week.
She's owed taxes for quite some time.
You are the sheriff, are you not?
Of course.
I think that you and I need to have a lengthy discussion. And at that point, she pulls out her letters patent and produces them.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes, that is appropriate. That is a
Yeah,
no shit
Johnny just-
moment for this guy.
yeah. Johnny's just kind of sitting there watching, just relaxed, having a good time.
This entire time, Ambrose has been flicking his head back and forth between the sheriff and Althea like he's watching a soap opera. This is the best.
Gwen is also fascinated by how things are conducted up here.
Johnny's actually passing his wineskin around if anyone wants a drink.
Has Tonus joined us yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because no one ever came out of the jail house.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
The sheriff reads it over, and as he's reading, it's clear that he's understanding and that his demeanor changes somewhat as he hands it back to you and says, "Well, your ladyship, what would you like to discuss?"
You give a writ stating that this woman's taxes for the past week are forgiven. Second, you meet me back at the jailhouse. We'll talk there. And she turns her back and walks away.
Okay.
And she said it in a loud enough voice that hopefully everyone within 30 feet heard it. So all of the woman who was being badgered, any of the fishermen in the area, because word travels fast in a small town.
All right. You turn before he responds, but he does say with haste. And you head back to the jail.
And as Althea catches up to where Johnny and the crew are, Johnny just kind of hands her the wineskin and says, "Perfect," in a low tone, and just kind of turns on his heel and walks with her.
And Althea just takes a really deep breath, and her eyes get super wide, and she's like, "I can't believe I just did that."
Take a drink. You're fine. Take a drink. It's fortified wine. You're fine.
Gonna be fun. And she takes a pull.
Okay.
So as soon as they get back to the jail, and she sees that the stockade is still locked, and Ethan is still in it.
Well, yeah, but before we get to that, so Tonus is waiting, and no one ever comes out.
Just gonna sit down.
Okay, so you just wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to give you the opportunity to decide if you were going to press the issue or do anything else before they returned. Because it's going to take, 20, 30 minutes or so.
I don't know if I have the authority to, so yeah, I just sit down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yep,
Yeah.
so you get back. The tattooed bald man is still in the pillory.
Yeah, as soon as I can see that he is still that he's still in the stockade, I'm going to call out, "Tonist, unlock it."
I wish I had the spell knock, but I guess I'll just lock the door.
Yeah, knock is a wonderful spell, isn't it?
I just point at it and it just opens.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thought it was Alohomora.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm picking that lock.
Okay. It doesn't take too long. There's no real threat of failure here, so there's no need to roll.
I want to do
And
it
you get it.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah, make a thieves tool check using dexterity.
Wow, you suck.
Bogger did have
No.
Dude, why do you suck? Havelock would laugh at you.
You break the lock, and my lock in here
Havelock
forever.
has lock in his name.
So it's taking quite a while as you're working at it.
Johnny walks over to the smith's tools and breaks the lock.
Okay.
That's what Gwen was gonna do.
Johnny just walks over, takes a crowbar off his tool belt, and pops the lock.
Okay. Yeah. So the pillory open is now
Can we use my
unlocked.
quick art bow?
Looks at Tony and says, "My friend, go with your strengths."
Oh, oh wow. Gwen is gonna walk over and help open the thing if it looks like
So-
he needs help.
Yeah, it's hinged. It can be.
Yeah, so she'll like.
It's a little heavy.
Is it,
Yeah, and Gwen's not very strong, so she probably struggles with it, but that's fine.
I have
was
the
it
highest-
Was it Ashgrove?
I have
Eighth
the
and
highest
Ashgrove?
strength.
Yes.
Thank you. Master Ashgrove, if you will please, into the jailhouse. I need to settle some things before we can actually release you, but I will not have you out here any longer.
He seems unsure about what's going on.
Please come
Sure.
with me. Thank you.
Stretches a little bit as he follows.
Okay, and I will stride into the jailhouse. And
Okay.
if David is not in immediate evidence, I will raise my voice and shout for him.
Okay, hold on a second, Tara. Hold on a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As we're walking in, as Ethan is obviously confused, Johnny leans over and says, "Ethan, that's the new Baroness of this town, of this area. She is brand new to this,
Oh.
and no one knows who she is. So just go with it and
Do what she
watch
says.
the fun. Watch the fun."
Oh dear.
Wow.
He says, "I'm Johnny. I'm a cleric of the Forge. Nice to meet you. We'll get you out of this in short order. My apologies for not introducing myself when we interrogated you earlier."
All right.
It's fine.
David is indeed on the inside. It seems like he was watching from one of the shuttered windows, and he says, "Shouldn't have done that. That man has the plague."
Clearly don't have the plague.
He looks perfectly healthy to me, and believe me, I have seen people infected with that blight. Now,
Well-
if you wish to follow, if you wish to go with what the laws are, you can put him in that cell, and we will discuss his fate later. However, I stated that I would not have him in the sun any longer. Are we clear? Where are your keys, David?
He says, "Well, couldn't have him in here. He's had the plague. That's what I went to check. And then when I came back, you were gone. So, but I'll get them."
I mean, they don't need them anymore.
Gwen will lean over and look at Ethan and be like, "Do you actually have the plague?"
No.
Okay.
So
We've
Althea's going
actually
to
seen
look
people
what
with
the
the
plague
plague
would say.
before, so
Althea's going to look around the room. She's going to find whichever is the biggest desk, most comfy looking chair. She is
Okay.
going to, and she is going to take said chair and put her feet up on the desk.
All right. David comes back out with a set of keys. Says, "All right." He looks disconcerted by you sitting in where you're sitting. But doesn't say anything.
why do they
And-
think you have the plague?
I honestly have no idea. You'll have to ask them.
Why do you think he has the plague?
well, that's what the sheriff noted when he was arrested.
Oh, great. Okay, the sheriff's not here. Did he tell you why he thinks he has the plague?
No, that's just in the log.
Gwen's just gonna curse under her breath. God damn it.
I mean,
Where is
putting
this
me out in
log?
the pillory in the middle of the city seems like a pretty poor way to deal with someone with a plague.
You're not kidding.
Ambrose telepathically says to the rest of the group, "I don't know about you guys, but this sheriff is starting to smell a lot like bacon, if you know what I'm saying."
Gwen will laugh out loud.
More like
Sure.
dead fish to me.
David, the deputy,
was a pig.
presumably, looks at everyone like you're crazy, and says the log's in the back, indicating the door he went into to get the keys.
Please fetch it out. I'd like to look at it.
And leave the keys here.
Okay. He seems unsure of what to do. He says, "Well,
Althea.
you showed him the letters already, Yeah.
I showed him the
I-
letters already.
right? Okay. So after a moment, he seems to make up his mind. He puts the keys down on the one of the desks and heads back into the back room.
Okay, good. I was
With the mush
confused.
around, should I let myself into a cell? I'm
You
not entirely sure what's going
can
on.
if you want, but like,
Johnny just says, take a seat in that chair over there. This is too good to miss."
do you have any
Just-
markings on you that like look like spotty, dark things?
No.
Nothing really. You weren't attacked by anything or bitten by anything that looked.
Do you have
I
any
was looking
brand?
for the blight, and I haven't seen a single sign of it.
Do you have any brands that
Anywhere.
mark you as a pirate?
Well,
No, I'm an herbalist.
wait a minute. You said you were from
An apothecary.
Kingsdale.
You got herb?
Yes.
Well, what do you mean you haven't seen any sign of the blight? Just go west. Did you not pass through Bryn Melon?
Did you say you're a giant
The-
crossbow?
Were you not
Brunellan's
paying it?
east of.
Yeah, I know. So even if you didn't go west, if you pass through Bryn Melon, you would absolutely see evidence of the plague.
I did
Unless
pass through
he-
Brunellan.
Yes, if he went directly east and then came
I-
south, he wouldn't have seen it.
If you went through
I
Pillis,
was
you would
told
have.
I was told to go to surrounding villages, so that in case it had spread, I could return with news of where it had spread to.
Oh,
You went through Tiptree, past Lido Keep, down to Carrie, through Pillith, down to Forth, and then to here.
oh, all right, fine.
He went the long way.
Yep. And not along the
Smart.
border.
No, smart though.
I'm more concerned that he said he's a giant crossbow. I'm kind of concerned about that one.
I don't think that's what he said. What did he
He's
say?
an arbalist.
No,
It's-
an alchemist.
I'm an herbalist.
Oh,
Got herb?
Herbalist.
I'm an
So
apothecary.
you say herb and we say herb because there's a fucking H in it.
thank you.
He would
Yeah,
have a
full
giant
circle.
crossbow.
as that's wrapping up, the sheriff enters the jailhouse.
Hey, Bob.
He doesn't respond to that and goes to where Althea is sitting.
So, Sheriff, you know my name. What is yours?
I'm called Cedric Woodleaf.
And Sheriff Woodleaf. What are these people in here for?
He looks around, says, pointing them out at each time, pointing first at Ethan. So that one supposed to be pilloried outside, but I see the damage that was done, and presumably who did it. Could have unlocked him if you had demanded it, but
She
to answer your
did.
question, he's
Althea raises a hand to just hush the group. Just let him answer.
he was arrested for sedition and suspected of carrying a plague.
And those in the cells?
I heard a roll. Oh no, that was a. Okay. I wasn't on roll 20. I'm like, what was that noise? Did someone do something? the sheriff dies. No.
Wow.
Well, you said a roll, so I picked something at random.
Uh,
Dang.
that one is in for poaching. She is
Poaching.
here.
Poaching what?
Oh, phew, don't memorize every case. But David comes out with the logbook and says, just look here. She felled a deer in Elster Forest without permission.
Elster Forest, which is
Yes, but
where?
he looks at you. Why? Um, yeah.
Is it-
Well,
is
madam,
it the
it's the forest surrounding Shifnal, of course.
And when was this?
He looks down at the book. 3 days back.
Brave woman to go in where there were orcs and a gorgon.
He says, well, the orcs are mostly on the eastern part of the forest. Near town, relatively safe.
Continue.
Next, it's gambling. Apparently, this farmer was betting on pixie fighting.
Bruce immediately
Althea-
puts up,
Althea-
wait, that's a thing?
Althea looks over to Gwen and with this look of, what the what? Is that a thing?
Does Gwen
She
know
looks
if
at
that's a
Ambrose too.
Does Gwen know if that's a thing?
I mean,
That doesn't
It
sound like
sounds like-
something the
it
elves.
sounds like it sounds like you take 2 pixies and make them fight.
That doesn't sound like something the elves would engage in. So if Gwen had any if the areas Gwen is from has any familiarity with it, she would not have been exposed to it like at all.
Yes.
So
Althea
Gwen has no
basically
idea.
Looks to each member of the party with a look of, what?
These small town villagers.
Trying to just like how quaint.
Continue.
And last, drunk and disorderly. Will be released at noon.
Well, first of all, the one arrested for poaching. You saw the carcass?
No, it's brought in by one of my deputies.
Did the deputies see the carcass?
We'll have to ask her, won't we?
Yes, where is she?
Oh, I presume she's patrolling the forest near town. She'll return near sundown.
For now, if this woman has not possession of the carcass, release her and let her go home.
As you command, madam. And he takes the keys off the desk and goes over to the cell and unlocks it and gestures for the woman to leave. After she exits the building, the sheriff turns back to you and says, shall we be releasing any of the others?
You said drunk and disorderly will be released at midday.
That is correct. Not too long from now.
That I am content with. She gets up from the chair and walks over to the occupant of the second cell. Gambling on pixie fights? She addresses the question directly to the inmate of the cell.
He says, Pix is a mighty nuisance to our farmers here, but I ain't never fight 'em. I always release them back into the woods.
Presumably into the woods surrounding the castle.
Yeah.
Sheriff, how long is this man's sentence?
He says, sentence. Magistrate hasn't come yet. Haven't yet determined his guilt.
If you have not determined his guilt, release him.
As you wish.
Innocent until proven guilty. You will report, and as the sheriff's unlocking the cell, she's talking to the guy in the cell. When the magistrate reports or appears in town, you will report here and make account of yourself. Gather what evidence you have prior to that. Do you understand?
He nods. Thank you so much. And exits out of the jailhouse.
As for this one, Mr. Ashgrove, on what pretext, on what evidence did you decide that he was a carrier of the plague and a seditionist?
Well, we've had reports from citizens that he came in and started causing a ruckus, asking people about symptoms and the blight from the west. He was causing quite a commotion,
Thank you. Just pull it
getting
out.
people
Cover it up with
riled
some
up.
oil. Getting people riled up. Mr. Ashgrove, the other towns that you say you visited, Pillith and Mordu and Kerry, were you arrested for sedition and whatever it is in any of those places?
No. I was not hindered in my efforts to pursue information about the plague.
To whom did you present your requests for information?
Generally, I asked local apothecaries. Sometimes I was pointed to specific villagers.
Is there an
occasionally, occasionally I would speak to constables and the sort, but it varied from town to town.
Understood.
Many were smaller than Pillith or Kerry.
Smaller than Shifnal?
Yes.
And in none you were hindered?
No.
Perhaps they weren't as diligent in their law keeping.
Perhaps you're a little
Or-
hasty to lay a charge of sedition.
He shrugs.
Althea just smiles. Sheriff Woodleaf, is there an apothecary in this town?
Yes, there's. He's quite well known around these parts. Zook Shadowcloak.
Zook
His shop is just across the street, actually.
Zook Shadowcloak. Would you
Good
mind,
meeting this town.
Sheriff, sending David to fetch Mr. Shadowleaf here?
Shadow cloak.
Shadowcloak, sorry. I wrote it down wrong.
Wrong. You
Not
have
at
to
all.
purpose.
David.
Big energy.
David exits the big energy. David exits the building.
Thank you, Gwen. It's that fortified wine, I'm telling you.
Do you want to do anything while waiting?
I'm going to gesture for the log so that I can look through it myself and look at the various charges that have been over the last 6 months.
Ethan said
Okay.
he wanted to hop into a cell. If you really want to do that, I suppose you like.
Well, the sheriff's here now. Seems unnecessary at this point.
Did you talk to the apothecary in this town?
I hadn't quite gotten that far.
Real
Pretty
soon
on
after.
the, he's pretty aggressive in his pursuit of justice, the sheriff.
Yeah, and Althea is quite content to let the sheriff just stand there since she's occupying his seat.
Justice from what though? Like that. Gwen just looks confused.
While leafing through, you see similar minor charges here and there.
How much does
But-
she see about taxation?
Uh, not a ton. I mean, you do see bits here and there about people that haven't paid, but it's not like half of it or something like that.
Okay.
It doesn't stand out as disproportionate.
Okay, she looks up from the log and says, "Where are your tax records?"
Excuse me. He says, keep them in the office back in the back. Shall I get them for you?
Yes, please.
As you wish, madam. And he heads into the back. At that point, David arrives with a gnome in tow, looking confused about the situation.
Yay, gnome.
Althea says that out loud.
No, Althea does not say that out loud.
He's so
Tara
cute.
says that out loud.
And the sheriff returns from the back with another sizable book and place it on the desk where Althea is sitting. Ah, Zook has arrived. Hello, Zook. The gnome greets him in kind.
Sorry. Paul went off to get us more beverages.
Nice. The gnome and David are back. Sheriff put the tax book on the desk.
Excellent. Master Ashgrove, you have your opportunity to speak with the apothecary. And as that's happening, she's going to look at the tax records.
Okay.
Ethan will look at Zook Shadowcloak. Well, for I suppose for the sake of thoroughness,
That's
could you verify that I am not bearing the plague?
His eyes go a bit wide.
That's why they had me in the stocks. They seemed to think I was carrying the blight.
The gnome looks to the sheriff, and then back at Ethan, and then back to Althea, and then says, "Okay, I can do that," and begins to examine Ethan. Keeping careful not to touch Ethan anywhere, but asking him to move side clothing, lift up arms, things like that. Just general a once over. When you finish, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, what percentage tax rates are we looking at? I mean, when Althea's looking through the tax books, is she seeing anything that's ridiculous, that's out of line with, what taxes would normally be? Is she seeing shoddy record keeping, anything where there are double entries or missing, a pattern of missing anything?
I mean, with the amount of time you've been going, leafing through it, probably not easy to tell,
Yeah.
especially since you're probably not familiar with looking at these sorts of things, I would imagine.
She had a little bit of that education
Oh, okay.
thanks to her mother, but not. I mean, she never actually went over the books with her father because
Sure.
he would never have done that. But mom would have seen to her education that way.
Okay.
You're not
Make her
also an
roll versus
accountant?
GPA. Yeah, make her roll versus GPA.
um, yeah. Evaluating the T accounting. No. You, that I mean, I'm sure one of the things you look at initially is just going to like turn to where it talks about taxing for dock usage,
Mm.
since that's probably pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Um, you don't see that there's like an exorbitant. It's not like a gold piece a day or something. It's pretty reasonable. If you assume that a typical worker makes a couple silver pieces a day, someone that owns their own boat probably going to make more than that, and its listing tax is a tax rate of a silver piece for use of the dock.
Okay, so like a silver piece per day.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So it doesn't seem
Neat.
inordinate.
Okay. Thank you.
And the rest of the taxes sort of follow that suit. There's taxes on farmers, on the businesses in the town, and things like that, but nothing jumps out as why are you. It's not like you're taxing people 5 gold pieces to walk through town. Nothing like that.
Right. So it's not exorbitant, but what he was doing to that woman at the dock seemed a little bit excessive. We'll sort that out later.
Okay. The gnome concludes his examination and says that it appears this man is free, not just of the plague, but seems in perfect health.
Thank you.
Maybe a bit
About it.
sunburned and dehydrated, but other than that.
And while he's going through the examination, Ethan will ask if anyone nearby has complained of any plague-like symptoms or
Sure.
that sort of thing.
And I'm not sure how much you've talked about the game with Kristen, but basically the plague presents as a black spider web that goes out from a wound, or it's also spread by contact. And it's after the victim dies, they rise again and are very hostile to anything living. But their skin turns ashen gray. They're fatigued, confused.
Cannibalistic.
Well, that's after they rise again.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
when-
cannibalistic before they die.
And Johnny materializes and gives them mercy, and then dematerializes and goes about his business.
So I'm assuming that anywhere in this description, yeah, our team is chiming in with, oh yeah, and this, oh yeah, and this, because we've seen it, because we've dealt with it.
Zook says that. Let me just check.
And every time one of the team chimes in with something, Althea just smiles.
He says, no one is no complaints, no symptoms that I've heard of. No one's come in asking for any unusual unctions for strange maladies.
Okay. Another
Guys,
town
is-
crossed off the list.
If anyone does, the very best thing you can do, put them in one of these cells. Give them food and water, and leave them there and hope for the best.
Well, and let us know, and we'll go get a cure.
Does it cure?
Sort of.
It's a restorative. It needs to be applied every year. We're looking for a permanent cure.
We have
Interesting.
friends who are working on a permanent cure. As of right now, both the Tree of Spring in Bryn Melon and the Tree of Autumn in the fortress in the Wastes have been administered cures and should be recovering from the blight.
See.
Individuals, I'm not sure if their fates are tied to the trees or not. We can only hope. However, the people who know how to make the cure are seeking for a permanent solution.
The Mantis folk said people need to take the potion once a year.
Yeah, but that was
I
before we
didn't-
were able to give them a sample of the actual corruption that was causing the blight.
Which they rejected.
Right, they did reject that.
True. Jerks.
In any case, there should be no further infections, at least not coming from the trees directly. As Johnny has said, if someone in the town manifests any of those symptoms, put them in quarantine and inform us immediately.
As you command.
Sheriff, at some point, and she snaps the tax book shut and hands it back to him. At some point, I would like to discuss your tax codes and how they are applied. My apologies if it seemed that I undermined your authority at the docks today, but I needed to get your attention.
You are the Baroness after all, so no hard feelings.
Thank you. As for the castle, the orcs and the Gorgon have been dispatched. Now, we need to rebuild. I need several things from you. First, I need an exact estimate of when. An exact estimate? That doesn't sound right.
Johnny just looks at you and goes, nice.
Well,
You're going to do great in politics.
You're like, I need something from 10 to 15. No, it needs to be more exact.
As-
All right, I estimate 13.
As soon as the magistrate arrives in the town previous to arriving here, I need to know so that we can be present, meet with the magistrate, and explain our desires and our wishes for this barony going forward. Second, I need workers. I need stonemasons. I need iron workers. I need a groundskeeper. I need a good arborist. We need to put the castle in order. If it is going to require being taken all the way to the ground, or if it can be repaired and reinforced, I need that assessed. We do have the funds for this building.
Johnny leans over. Order of the Forge. Leans over to Althea and just whispers Order of the Forge.
This keep will be dedicated by and to the Order of the Forge.
No, ask if there's a local.
If there are any here in town who are sworn to the Order of the Forge, I would like to meet with them this afternoon, if at all possible. If that summoning is not within your capacity, point us in the right direction. Johnny can speak to the leader of the order.
Johnny just kind of smiles at the sheriff. How you doing, Bob?
Is there anything
Cedric.
else?
I would very much like to meet all of the inhabitants of my barony if possible. I don't know if that may be something that needs to happen over time, perhaps in a week or so. I need you to get the word out that there is a new baroness in the keep, that I do have supporters with me, that if anyone has concerns, they can bring them to me. You will be, for the time, my spokesman and my conduit with the common folk. Do you accept this responsibility?
He says, why, of course, I'm here to serve you.
You are here to serve the barony as well.
Johnny leans in. I would recommend having some sort of a welcoming, not a fete, but some sort of ceremony that the barony pays for?
It's already in my plan.
He says, you rock.
There is one other thing. There is presently a group of elves, and they are elves of the forge. Their skin is slightly blue tinted. She looks over to Gwen.
Is she looking for confirmation?
Yes.
Yeah, she'll nod.
We are. Let me just let me put it this way. They are not friendly to us, and therefore they will not be friendly to the barony. If you wish the barony to prosper, which we intend to make happen, you will turn them back from our borders. You will tell them that there is none here that they are looking for, and you will ask them to move along.
Johnny waves his hand. Doesn't say a word, just waves his hand.
These aren't this isn't the half elf you're looking for.
Exactly. Thank you for coming with me on that.
Do you understand?
Oh, yes. We do not want enemies in our midst.
Because you've put up with them entirely too long. I am curious, Sheriff, why did you leave the castle to the inhabitation of the orcs and the gorgons so long anyway?
Frowns at Yoon, says that the keep fell into disrepair a couple years ago, and it's not as though I have a fighting force to go and fight orcs.
That is understandable. However, the castle is now under our ownership, and we have cleansed it. Did one of you bring the head of that thing with us?
Johnny reaches into his bag of holding. He goes, "Why, yes? Yes, I did." Pulls it out of the bag of holding on his belt pouch and goes, "Here it is."
You just
Bruce
have that thing
immediately shields his
sitting in a
eyes.
bag?
Huh?
Not in a bag, in another bag?
No, it's in a bag in another bag.
I'm
Okay.
assuming that you closed its eyes.
It's inside a
Bag of
bag
holding,
inside. It's inside a sack inside the bag of holding. It's not
That-
just
Okay.
in there.
That's good.
It's
doesn't
not
have
just
air in it,
rolling
so
around in
nothing
there.
can decompose.
No, it's not just rolling around in there. It's inside a sack inside the bag of holding.
What did
Here,
you,
Stone says, "My keep."
Omega? What'd you say?
The logic behind a bag of holding is that it's like a vacuum kind of. So there's no air in it, so it couldn't decompose anyway.
No, the issue is more like there's blood now all over your pile of gold coins and shit.
Ew.
No, no. Also, remember, depending on what type of pantheon you ascribe to, even though the Gorgon's head is severed from the body, the power of petrification resides within the head. So even if it's dead, if you hold the head up, the visage of the Gorgon's head itself can cause petrification.
I thought it was just her eyes.
Nope.
Oh.
I
Okay.
thought it was the gaze, like, yeah.
I thought it was the gaze, so
Like
it's
Clash
like
of
we
the
have her
Titans.
blindfolded.
Them dang gaze that turn everybody stone.
Sometimes it's the gaze, sometimes it's like magic beams that come out of the snakes. Like
Sometimes,
GM, what is your call?
You don't know?
there you go.
We could
That's
test
why it's
it.
inside a bag.
Does anyone want to look and find out?
Particularly.
Here's the other new
Hey, Tonius,
person.
come here. Check
They
this
don't
out.
know.
Wow.
Where's Jaxar when you need him?
We could just have him make Guy Fawkes stare at it.
Oh,
Aw.
He just
Poor
gets a
Guy
new one.
Fawkes.
He just gets
Poor
a new
guy.
one.
Yes, but that requires resources to resummon him. So, Sheriff Woodleaf, are you satisfied?
He he says, "Yes, of course."
Very well. So please, by tomorrow noon, if you could have any craftsmen whom you think are up to the task of the keep meet with us at the keep. And as for now, let us arrange for an introduction ceremony 3 nights hence in the town square, and we will provide.
All right, we will definitely have that set up for you.
And hopefully we can prevail upon the magistrate to join us.
Uh, he does need to rest and typically travels again the next day, so I presume he will be available.
Very well. Thank you for your assistance.
He
And
nods to you.
she hands him back the both ledgers and walks out.
Ethan looks around for a moment. Does this mean
Come on, buddy.
I'm
Let's
free to
go.
go? Okay. May I have my belongings?
Yes, of course. And I'm told that your cat is still at the Humble Mug.
Oh, thank you. I
He
will
goes
go fetch him.
goes into the back and brings out your stuff.
Hope it's not a Grimald.
Is that some kind of thieves' cant? What was that? Your cat is at the Humble Mug.
Yes, that is absolutely these can't. If Havelock was here, he could translate that for you. It would
My
take about
bandit
half an
rifle.
hour to explain everything, but he could translate that for you. As it is, before Johnny leaves, he walks over to the sheriff. He says, "Sheriff, I know this is a lot." He hands him his wineskin. He just nods.
Says, "Oh, it's been a long time coming. I'm just glad that finally someone has been appointed as the new Baron, or Baroness in this case."
Is anybody going to tell him that she's celestial born?
Nope. That's a
And
surprise.
that's why she looks that way?
Nope. That's a surprise for later.
He looks down at the wineskin but doesn't take it.
It's okay. It's like, well, you're on. Yeah. It's like, well, it is good to make your acquaintance.
Says,
I-
"Don't want to end up in one of those cells myself for being drunk and disorderly."
It is fortified. Have a good day. And he nods and gives him a very short blessing of clear eyes and good conscience, and takes his leave.
Okay.
He is a priest after all.
Yes.
So where's the mug relative to the?
It's just one of the taverns on the high street.
Okay.
Was Ethan there before he was picked up?
Yes.
Is it
Okay.
a brothel? It's a
So-
brothel, isn't it?
The
So,
Humpy Mug.
Be honest.
Basically, Althea has stopped outside the door and she's just kind of looking up and down the street. She's waiting for Ethan to come out. So as soon as he comes out, it's like, so where's
Grab
this
his stuff.
tavern?
It's just up the way.
Lead on,
The,
sir.
the brothel is next to it. That's the Humble Jug.
Nice.
All right. He'll
There's
It's not as-
actually
humble mug.
the other
Alright.
side of there's actually a pet shop, the Humble Bug.
Oh.
Oh.
Must resist. So there's a building with a sign that has a crudely drawn tankard on it. Presumably, this is the Humble Mug, and Ethan knows that it is.
Yep.
Yep. Heading inside.
Murder everybody.
Wow.
No, not the murder hobos.
Only if the elves are
Where's
here.
Jaxar's fireball when we need it?
Yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah, we lost our fireball. That makes me sad.
I still think that would have been
Ooh, a
awesome
scrolling
because she's
fireball.
got the halberd. The flames would have extinguished. She's got resistance.
Yeah,
You were so close to death.
but those fireballs did increase the cost to repair the keep because one of them
Yeah.
exploded the top room and the other exploded a stable.
Oh well.
Inside,
Cost of doing business, man.
it is midday. There's not a lot of customers in. There's a gruff, overweight human behind the bar. Also on the bar is a white cat.
Johnny
Ethan
sits
will-
down to the bar and says, "Hey, bartender, give me a shot of your best rot gut. Come here, bartender. You ever had a flaming eyebrow?"
I don't know how to deal with that. He gives you a shot and says, "Never heard of it."
Lean in close. I'm just kidding.
Althea walks up to the bar and sits down next to Johnny, just looking at him with this bemused what smile.
It's okay. He hands the bartender his wineskin. He says, "A good drink for a good drink." He pays for his drink, obviously, but he offers the bartender a drink of his fortified wine.
Okay.
Althea smacks his shoulder and says, "Why haven't you been handing this around before?"
Because it's only been you guys, and I'm trying to make more friends for the group.
Fine.
Yeah, so 5 copper pieces for the shot. The bartender does partake in the wine.
Yep.
And hands it back to you.
Yep. Says, "Nice to meet you. My name is Johnny.
Mm,
This
Daniel.
is Althea. Pleasure to meet you, Daniel. This is Althea. She'll fill you in on the rest from here." And he just kind of sits back and watches.
Ethan will lean forward and set a silver piece on the counter. Uh, Thanks for looking after Quiz, and reaches over and starts petting the cat.
Johnny goes,
Who happens?
"Kitty!" and just becomes completely absorbed with the cat.
All right.
And Althea by this time she's had enough of the fortified wine that she just kind of giggles a little bit.
All right. Barkeep will turn his attention to Althea and say, "So, you guys just passing through?"
No, actually. I'm Althea Varens, and by Duke Davis's letters of patent, I am the new Baroness Shifnal.
He seems he seems somewhat surprised, but not doesn't seem to phase him too much. And says, "Well, so I imagine you'll be repairing the tower out in the wood."
Well, that's the intention. My friends and I, she looks around the room at the other members of the team. We were out there yesterday, and there is no longer an orc infestation. But yes, there are quite a few holes in the walls and the roof that need to be repaired. Don't suppose you know a good groundskeeper, do you?
Oh, get all sorts in here. Probably pass the word along. See if anyone's particularly good at keeping ground.
Very well.
Maybe one of the farmers.
Perhaps. I don't expect that the fisher folk would be particularly interested in the forest. Although there was a woman in the jail. Gwen, did you take note of her? The one who'd been arrested for poaching.
Yes.
Ah, that'd be Lydia.
Lydia. So you know her, sir.
Oh, yeah, she was in here a few days ago. Talked up about going after them missing folk.
Missing folk.
Oh, yeah. people go missing around here every month and a half or so.
A month and a half that people have been going missing. What has the sheriff done about it?
No, no, no. Every month and a half, someone goes missing.
So every 45 days, someone just disappears.
Or thereabouts, yep. Sheriff sends his deputies out into the woods, but so far nothing.
Gwen, I think we need to find that Lydia and speak with her.
Okay.
I would not have people disappearing from my lands without explanation.
Where do they disappear? Where do they go missing?
Oh, well, out of their homes, sometimes out if they're hunting or. Oh, I think the first one was a boat came in from the lake completely empty.
And there's no trace of anything that might have happened. They just vanish.
Well, don't go and look at the scenes myself.
What about
But
the
is
people
it-
that go missing from their homes? Is there any tale of carnage?
No, no, nothing like that. They just are gone.
Are the homes still intact?
Oh yeah,
Are they empty?
I mean, Lydia was her brother that went missing. So
All right.
Some go missing from their homes.
Wait a minute.
Apparently someone went missing on the water.
Did Lydia live with her brother?
oh yeah, yeah, brother, mother, father, younger siblings.
And the brother was the only one that went missing
Mm-hmm. Oh,
in the middle of the
strange.
night, or was everybody home?
Oh yeah, in the morning they couldn't find him.
And he was for sure home that night.
By their accounts, he was. They're out on the farm out south near the wood.
South near the wood.
Oh,
South near the wood. Lady Shifnal, you might have something going on in your forest.
I'm concerned that it might be more than just the forest. If a boat has come back with no one in it.
Where does Lydia live? Where's the family?
it's a farm south of the village.
Oh, yep, he just said that. I'm sorry. All right.
Is there anything? Would there be anything, Daniel, from the outside of this farmhouse to identify it as different from any of the others? How would we know it if we went to seek them?
On Xbox.
What?
What was that about Xbox?
My
There's
Xbox
somebody-
my Xbox likes to turn itself on. It is
Oh.
not even currently connected to the internet.
You're
We
singing at her.
don't know why it does that.
It's
It's haunted. Yes.
The barkeep tells you that Lightfoot farm is out south, just a little bit out of town. Probably can't miss it. It's got a sign and everything.
It has a sign. I love it.
What did they farm?
Farmers.
Farm, they corn. They got a big corn maze out in the autumn.
Very well.
Corn maze and people are disappearing. Red flags, y'all.
It's spring. Although, well, it's the first one. There's been 5 of them so far. It's every 6 weeks or so. It's about half a year. I guess that would have put it about the time that I had their last corn maze.
Dun-dun-dun.
So was her brother one of the first to disappear?
No, he was the latest one.
And about how long ago was that?
5 weeks or so.
Oh, good. So we're due for another one.
Well, we pray that that's the end of it, but could be.
Daniel, thank you very much for your information. And she slides a gold piece across the counter.
Funny the sheriff didn't mention people going missing.
If you have any other information that you think might be useful, please send a runner, one of your tavern lads or whomever. Let us know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he says, "Oh, I hear all sorts of things. So, I mean, I could pass rumors along to you or anything concrete about these missing people. If another one goes, for instance."
Thank you, and may it not be anyone from your family. I mean to
appreciate that.
secure these lands. The Duke Davis laid a heavy responsibility on me when he gave me those letters patent, and I mean to take it seriously. So, folks, shall we go and see if we can find the Lightfoot farm?
Yep.
Oh, Daniel, there is a group of elves that may come inquiring. Their skin is somewhat blue-hued, and they will probably have a fairly good description of our party. Let them know you haven't seen us. Send them north.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't mind doing that for, taps the gold piece.
Appreciate it. Your Baroness will not forget.
All right. Anything else in here?
Anyone else?
Nope, Johnny's just watching the show. Specifically,
What did
not
you guys
getting
do
in the
to
way.
offend some elves?
It's
What?
Gwen's fault.
It's a long story.
Basically, Gwen just pissed off everybody ever, and we have to clean up the mess.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm
Gwen's
kidding.
got this really horrified, mottled look on her face.
Gwen,
But she got involved in the questioning, so that was good.
you see this 6'3" blacksmith in heavy armor cradle a half elf in his arms. Goes, Gwen, I am so sorry. I was just kidding.
This is weird. I'm fine. It's fine. Let's go check out this farm.
This is what you this is what you get when you act weird around me. And let you go.
In the doorway, Althea pauses, looks back. Ethan, would you care to join us, or will you remain here?
I would appreciate joining you, actually. I have many questions about the knowledge you seem to have about this plague. He pulls out a book and quill
Oh.
and starts asking you guys questions about these trees of spring and summer that he seems to know nothing about.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. We'll do that later. We're gonna go
Yes.
check out this farm.
Yes,
On the
let's-
way, he's asking you questions in writing.
Oh, you can
Oh,
write
don't-
while you walk?
That's you. You're talented. Tell you what, why don't you come back to the keep with us this evening, and we can answer all of your questions there.
Okay, that
Be right
works
back,
just
guys.
fine.
Okay.
All right, so we wander down the
Put
road, and
stuff away.
We're probably gonna want to take the tank to the farm.
yes, shall we go and collect the Mark IV? Tonist,
Yeah,
ready to drive down to the farm, the Lightfoot farm?
sure.
Excellent.
All right. Rumble, rumble, rumble. It's outside of the main town, not particularly close. It's even south of like the southern part of the lake. But after about an hour, you'll arrive. Well, an hour. Yeah, that's about right. An hour, you'll arrive at a likely looking farm. As you go through the countryside, the farmlands, people stop and stare as you drive by. The road hugs the forest, so it's constantly to your east. When you arrive, the and stop the battle wagon outside the farm, a couple people will come over and I guess wait for you to exit.
As we've been traveling south, Althea will be up on the top deck, which I'm assuming the top deck is open, right?
No,
Oh,
it's enclosed.
oh, okay. For some reason, I thought the top deck was open. All right. Well, if there's a window that she can wave out of, she will.
Okay.
On the way there, Gwen is going to let the party know that she sensed something coming from the southern area of the woods. And she did not think it wise to explore by herself, and it might be related.
Sensed
But she would
something-
like to go into the tree line before we maybe go into the farm and see if she can pinpoint the direction it was coming from, or see if this is the nexus.
Nexus? Nexus of what?
It's very difficult to explain. Let's call it magic.
Weird wibbly wobbly magic is Ambrose's specialty. He'll go with and backup.
Ethan will accompany. As he's been in a pillory for some time, he's gonna not ride in the battle jalopy. Just
Oh yeah,
walk
you probably want to
alongside
stretch
it.
your legs.
But Quiz will ride inside. Good little cat.
So, shall we stop about what, 100 feet north of the farm, or what do you want to do, Gwen?
As we're coming along, how close is the farm to the trees?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, okay, so probably just stop a safe distance away from the farm, make sure we don't damage anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's the road, and then it's to the west of the road a bit. But I mean, you've got crops growing right up to the road.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
just
wishing-
wherever we want to stop to approach the farm, Gwen's just gonna hop out and head to the tree line for a few minutes and see if she can
Reorient.
figure things out. Yeah.
So we'll halt outside the entrance to the farmhouse proper, and you, Ambrose, and Ethan will head up toward the tree line.
Sure, whoever wants to come.
I thought that was the intent, was that
Everybody
Gwen.
out.
I
Right,
wasn't
so-
sure.
So is it Toinus, Johnny, and Althea who are actually approaching the farmhouse, and then the other three are going up to the
Johnny piles
Oh.
out there
Tree
and
line.
says, "Let's go."
Wait, no, Gwen will actually ask you guys to wait so that she can just see if she can put this big picture together.
I hate waiting. And he just sits there.
I'm sorry.
Althea's not really cool with letting you go in by yourselves when they're not doing anything. She's going to come at
You
least
can-
to the very edge of the tree line.
That's fine.
Ethan will string a bow that was in his pack and put a sword on his hip. Just in case, not sure what's going on here.
Could,
Just put him with his pack.
could I get 2 checks from Gwen? Nature and survival.
Nature. and survival.
Hey.
Nice.
That was
So
some pretty good rolls.
Too bad you're at disadvantage. You suck.
Oh.
Up.
is someone using their inspiration to force her to roll at disadvantage? No.
Oh God.
The immediately upon getting to the trees, you note that there are tracks, humanoid in nature, right up to the tree line.
Where are they coming from and where are they going?
They come from the east of the forest, and then they seem to travel north and then back east.
Into the woods?
Yep.
And I can only tell they're humanoid?
Well, it's like shoes.
Yeah, but how big are they?
About as wide as milk.
Oh, they're the size of like a large man or
Okay.
woman. They're not
So
like
size 12.
dwarf. Yeah, sure. Is that large? I don't even know. No.
That's pretty good size.
Yeah, no. I was gonna brag a little bit.
Well, I mean, if we want to go with a 13 double wide,
Okay, so
I'm feeling called out here.
I love you.
can she hear anything else? Like when she
I-
moves into the trees?
Everyone can hear pretty nice sounding bird song, but you don't hear anything other than like the sounds of nature.
She'll look back and say this might take a few minutes. And she'll sit down to meditate.
Okay.
Althea's just taking up a watcher stance. Scanning if
okay.
invincible.
After a few moments, lifted up out from the bird song, you can hear similar tones to what you were hearing previously.
Okay.
Directionally northeast.
Coming from the northeast of our
Yes.
position?
Yep.
Northeast.
I guess you guys would be like down here now.
Northeast. So. Okay.
So like on this. Oh, that doesn't really.
Oh
help.
God. Yeah.
Up near the keep or to the east of the keep.
That's a good
Castle.
question. That's what
Thing.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Like in a that way direction.
Okay. Does it feel like it's closer than it felt earlier?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's good.
Althea calls very softly in Kopesh. What do you sense?
It's music. You might call it divine presence, but it's coming from northeast of our position.
Divine?
That's the sense I'm getting, yes, Jacob?
Yeah.
That's how this, yeah. Right now, that's how she interprets divine presence. So, yes. I don't know if it's related to the people going missing, but I was sensing it earlier. And I wanted to see just gather more data. Okay, I'm done. And she'll stand back up and head back.
When she comes in range, Althea will, in a very low tone, again in Kopesh, say, "Should we go investigate after we've spoken to the farmers?"
Sure.
I think that would be a good idea. And Gwen will also respond in Kopish.
Hear me out, though.
All right.
Uh,
So, anybody else know Kopish?
Yes.
Okay,
Rose
cool.
does.
No.
Ambrose does?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Interesting.
What character sheet
Speak
does?
common, Almani, Kopish, and aberration.
Beautiful. So you know Kopish.
No,
All right.
great.
So let's hop up into the tank and head down to the farmhouse entry proper.
Okay, hold
Alright.
on. Hear me out, though. There is possibility, whatever that music is, if it's close to this farm, the farmers might have something to do with it. If we come around acting all suspicious, like asking them what's going on, might warn or whatever's in the woods.
But do you really think that, given that one of their own has been taken?
Hmm.
Let us go gently with them. The woman, Lydia, should recognize us already. Hopefully, she will recognize that we may be her best hope for regaining her brother.
Right, if you say so.
I'm gonna say this because Gwen thinks it's a good idea. Kristen does not.
Don't say that.
We could split the party.
That is a terrible idea.
Lydia. And if Gwen says that, Althea's gonna look at her like, no.
That's prime real estate for doppelganger.
Ambrose might be right.
I'm
I'm
not
just saying, it might
comfortable.
just be because of the parental figures that I grew up with in a cave. I've seen some people do some pretty wacky things. Appease something, and it seems like something wacky and magic is going on. Place.
Clearly, something magical is going on. However, I cannot imagine a family having lost their son where his sister has gone looking for him. This seems far more straightforward to me than I think you're thinking.
That's a good point.
Let's at least speak with let's at least speak with them and see what they can tell us.
They turned out to be like cultists or something. I warned you.
If so, isn't it a good thing that we're all together?
It's fair.
So, moving down to the
Okay.
entryway to the farmhouse proper.
As you exit the battle wagon, a few farmhands are like gawking as they watch you exit.
Althea smiles and waves.
All right. One of them presumably tells the other to head inside because one turns and starts heading towards the farmhouse. The others continue to stare.
Althea looks over at Johnny, smiling and waving is what my dad does. Am I wrong?
You're fine.
Just smile and wave, boys.
Okay.
Just smile and wave.
Johnny will use persuasion. Says, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce you to your new Baroness. Lady Althea Varens, won't you please give her a warm welcome? She is here to protect you, to make things better, and to make things right. Fuck. That was a crap roll.
Like
I was gonna say, is that part of what he says?
No.
the two of them come over closer, and one says, "So, do we bow or?"
No, just say hello, be friendly.
Don't do
It's
that here.
okay. She doesn't hold to that kind of standard.
I
We're all
I,
just
I don't bite. Do I?
not yet.
Ambrose
What?
does.
Yeah, they're sort of bemused and they, hello. Eventually,
Hello?
eventually, the third returns with an older gentleman, the like mid-40s type, younger than the sheriff, who apparently is a grandfather. He's cleaning up. He's cleaning his hands with a rag and comes over and what can I do for you folks?
Althea extends a hand.
Okay.
Goodman Lightfoot, I presume.
He takes a moment longer to clean his hand before reaching and shaking yours. Says, "Yeah, that's me."
Pleasure to meet you, sir. I am Althea Varens. I am newly made Baroness Shifnal. And
Well,
just a short while ago, I commanded the release of your daughter Lydia. Has she returned home yet?
no, can't say that she has. Released from the sheriff's or from the jailhouse.
Yes, sir. The sheriff said that she was taken in for poaching.
Yeah, that's what I was told as well.
Sir, can you tell me what she was doing in the forest?
Well, she got it in her head that her brother Guile was kidnapped and taken deep into the forest near Red Ridge, but there's nothing to show that that was the case.
Near Red Ridge, you say?
Oh yeah, old dwarven mine, I think.
Althea looks over at Johnny. There's a dwarven mine in the forest?
Well, that's what they say. But
Hmm.
most people I know don't go near it. There's a beast out there that they say can take the shape of anything.
Mimics.
Interesting.
Every tree is a mimic.
Great.
Johnny
Fan
che-
freaking
Johnny
tastic.
Johnny checks to make sure that his mace is loose in its holder and on his belt.
Ambrose also puts a hand on his grimoire.
What
Must
does Gwen know what type of creature that might be?
It's a mimic.
I mean, if it can take the form of anything, then that would be a mimic or some sort of spellcasting creature or supernatural.
Okay,
Master
but it's not a
Lightfoot.
dragon, so that's good.
Now you know when
Mi-
the dragon's within 5 miles.
I know.
Mimic. Mimic. Mimic.
You ever heard the story
The floor is lava. Mimics are mimic.
of a boy who cried wolf?
Yeah, you ever heard the story of the mimic that ate everyone?
He says, yeah, meteor fell out there a couple years ago, and ever since it's been mighty dangerous.
A meteor. A rock from the heavens.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what they say it was.
Catapulted mimic.
How
Isn't that a
far
color
east
face
of the
thing?
palace the old castle is that?
No, it's in the southern part of the wood. Maybe 10 miles east of
10,
here.
10 miles. So, what? A half day in the wagon, Tidist?
Something like that.
If we can get through the trees.
We'll just run him over.
No.
No. No running over the trees.
Just use the flamethrower.
No.
Spike wheels plus flamethrower.
No.
tree.
No.
Gwen is not amused.
Althea's not quite not amused, but she's no. We're not doing that to the forest. Sir, if your daughter were to go somewhere, would it be to this red ridge that you were talking about?
I'm thinking that that's probably exactly what she did. I'll have to send a few boys into the forest to see if they can head her off before she gets too deep.
Well, let me ask you, sir. Are you willing to send your boys with us? We are happy to go after your daughter. I
woods.
admit to some interest about this Red Ridge. And to be truthful, we sense something in the forest and intend to investigate anyway. Would your boys be willing to come with us? See if we
Yeah,
can find your Lydia and send her home.
well, I suppose I can send a couple of them with you. Work's not done for the day, but I can manage.
I thank you, sir. And I hope that you will come to the introduction fest in 3 days' time in the town square.
Gwen is going to ask if he's sent anybody into the woods. How long ago were those tracks? Like, how old were those tracks?
The night before. They didn't exit the forest either. And he says no.
Can I tell if he's lying? Or, like, is he being truthful?
That'd be an insight versus deception, wouldn't it?
Make a insight check. Since you also noted the tracks with your survival, I'm going to add. They're both wisdom. Just double proficiency, I guess. So 17. You don't think he's lying?
Do you know if anybody has gone into the woods recently?
Says, no, we generally try to stay out, at least this far south. Maybe closer to town. There's people that go in, but hunting minor game, rabbits and the like.
Why do you stay out of the woods this far south?
Oh, there's that. Oh, I guess he didn't mention. He says there's a beast out there near Red Ridge. Yeah, that's the one he takes many forks. Yeah.
He did.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
He did mention it.
Okay.
Oh, it's dangerous. This portion of the woods.
Do you have any idea what it usually starts out looking like?
No, most folk that come back, they see it through the trees. Something as big as a horse, but its skin is shifting weirdly.
But folk do come back.
Oh yeah, they scramble out of there. Might quick, I imagine.
Wise
Can it-
choice.
Has anything gone missing in the last day?
Like, what do you mean, like shovels and things?
I don't know.
Like that.
Just
Just
I
anything
saw
at
I
all?
saw something
Anything?
walking into the woods. I'm wondering if it's coming out and then walking back in.
Nothing walked into the woods. All of the tracks were inside the tree line.
Nothing walked into the woods?
No.
Oh, I
Something
thought.
seemed to walk up to the tree line, and then it moved north, and then it moved further back into the woods.
Okay, I got the impression that something walked in as well. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, it's not just you.
Say that one more time then, Jacob, please.
Uh,
The tracks.
like kind of like these.
So something with size 13 feet
Ah,
walked
okay.
to the edge of the trees, north, and then back.
And you found multiple footprints as well. So multiple things were moving around in there.
Different sizes of feet.
Interesting.
But he says, no, nothing's missing. Nothing.
Okay,
anyone
well
told
that
me about
question,
anyways.
no, that question was because I misunderstood where the tracks
Was
were.
moved. Okay.
Nothing except your son.
He spit disconcerted. No, that was several weeks ago.
And have you given up finding him?
None of the others came back.
Can you
Thank you
tell
for
us
your
what happened?
He says it's just like any other day. Worked on the farm all day until sundown, then, well, not until sundown. Did some chores around the farm. Everyone had our supper, went to bed. Next morning, he was gone.
Had his bed been slept in?
Yes, yeah, bed was disheveled. Front door was wide open.
Were his shoes still in his room?
No, he dressed, put on shoes, left his night clothes, and seems that he just walked away.
And you were not able to follow his tracks?
Well, they got up to the road here and then disappeared.
Up to the road, you say?
Yes.
Interesting.
Right up to where we're standing now.
I think it's
Well,
time we
Goodman
check this
Lightfoot,
forest.
I intend to do everything I can to find out what is causing this, and hopefully to forestall any further disappearances.
He nods, but doesn't seem particularly hopeful.
Pray, sir, that we may find your son and the others missing. Perhaps your prayers will lend us strength and discernment in our paths. And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
turns and heads for the hoopty.
All right. That's right there. Thought you
Yep.
guys didn't go too far away from it.
Right, obviously. She's doing the whole decisive I'm a leader. I have to look like I'm leading this.
All right.
Except that I'm really not because it's a team.
Where do we want to stash the tank while we head into the forest?
It's on the edge of the forest, I think.
Yeah.
Not like anybody's going to be able to take it without the sapphire.
That's true.
Unless they have their own sapphire.
In this backwater?
Seems unlikely, but there
Wow,
is a
what are you
dwarven
talking
mine.
about your own land.
Yes, I am talking about my own land. Dude, come on, look at it.
That's fair.
She realizes this is a fixer-upper.
If nobody
He's-
has any objections, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jacob.
He's sending his two boys, Clive and Bill, with you. They're youngish, like just getting to the end of their teen years.
Wait, his sons?
Yeah, he said he was sending his boys with us.
No, I thought they were like farmhands.
He got his
I thought they were
boys.
farmhands too.
Could they be both?
Yeah, that's a medieval farm. It's the same.
I don't know. They're not coming with
It's his
us.
sons. Why not?
He's already lost one son. We don't know if we're going to find Lydia.
Let these young men search for their sister.
He said he was going to send him out
They're gonna do it with or without us. Yeah, they might as well be
Billy,
with us.
Billy, and who?
Bill and Clive.
Clive.
They've
Okay.
got like clubs with them, but
Okay.
just in like simple clothing.
Johnny, do we have anything in the bag that might be better for these young men to arm themselves with, or do you want to leave them with what they're familiar with?
I think it'd be best at this point to leave them what they're familiar with. Anything new would be a hindrance at this point, not having time to familiarize themselves with it.
Fair.
Ethan
mean-
will look over at whichever of them is the older. Do you happen to know how to use a bow? Short bow.
No.
Oh, simple weapon. Dang. Okay.
Very well.
Okay, then if
Would
nobody, oh, go ahead.
hand axe be better than those clubs? Because I've got 2 of those. No, I've got 1 of those that weighs 2.
They're probably functionally the same.
They say that. I mean, they haven't really trained with weapons.
Very well. Bill, Clive, if we wind up in a combat situation, please hang back. I understand that you love your sister, that you want to help her. We are better equipped. We'll let you know when we need your assistance, all right? Right now, the best thing you can do is tell us what you know about the forest and guide us, all right?
Yep, no disagreement from them. They are fully in support of not being in combat.
Good. All right. So, trucking into the forest. Woohoo.
All right. So that's
And I
pretty
figure
much-
we'll start by following those tracks. And if they seem to not go in the direction that Gwen is pretty sure they should be going in, then she'll just abandon them.
Are you following where they were leading or where they came from?
God damn it.
Let us,
I can't remember.
Gwen, let's take the northeast direction because that's where you heard, or that's where you sensed the presence from, yes?
Yes, that's the plan.
So
And
let's
that is where
follow
the tracks are heading.
Okay,
Okay.
great. So I guess that's where we'll pick up.
Yep. Yeah, we'll pick that up next week.
Sweet.
Cool.
I don't know if anybody caught this when I said it earlier. It is very suspect to me that the sheriff didn't say anything about people going missing.
Oh,
No,
That-
Althea
not
caught
that.
it.
Yeah, okay, that bothers me a lot.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it bothers Althea too, but she's not going to have the opportunity to address it until noon tomorrow when he brings whatever workmen to the
Right.
castle.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that that was noted.
Ambrose
Yeah.
100% thinks that the sheriff is in on this somehow.
Or is not putting up any kind of resistance to it.
Right.
Either way, I want a new sheriff, Althea.
Sheriff's a mimic.
The sheriff needs to retire. David needs to grow a set. And he also needs to learn who's boss.
Oh, shit.
Yes? No? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
works.
God. Althea's so not used to this. She's like, what the heck have I done?
That's good stuff. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Alrighty.
Thank you, everyone.
GG's.
You